Guys, welcome back. Higgs here, Backstage, RNB Fridays live at Hisense Arena. This is the final show. This is the show we have been excited for months, and we are here asking your questions of some of the stars, the R&B stars. You hear them on the radio every Friday for RNB Fridays, and now Melbourne gets to see them on stage, which is incredible. And this man has just come off stage. Dante Thomas, thank you so much for dropping by.
Thanks for having me, man.
Your first time out in Australia, is that correct?
Yes, my first time.
How's it been? Tell us about the experience so far.
It's been great. You know, the fans are great. The audiences are great. The weather is good. It's warmer here than it is where I came from, which was Europe. Right now, I'm finishing a tour in Europe, and I also have a place there. So, you know, it's a lot warmer out here. It's nice.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we could deliver. We're also taking your questions, so make sure you drop, if you've got a question for Dante Thomas, just put it in the comments. Jody has just asked, what would you do if you weren't an artist? Do you know what you'd be? Like if you weren't
That's a good question.
a singer right now, do you would be a
I'd be a really good singer in my church. How about that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, actually, before I made it as a singer, I was going to school to become an electrician.
An electrician?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Something that interested you? And
I mean, you know, I like building things. And, you know, I'd been trying to make it as a singer for a while before I had success with Miss California.
Yep.
And, I mean, if I couldn't make it building things with music, then, you know, building other things. So.
Yeah. Was there a turning point where you decided that music was going to be your career and your pathway?
I mean, I wanted to sing since I was... I've been singing since I was 7. I started to take it serious when I was about 14. But, I mean, you just never know. The best thing you could do is just you put your best foot forward, and, and you hope for the best after that.
Michael Chalmers has written a comment. I know you've actually worked with a lot of these artists or bumped into these artists before, but Michael wants to know, how do you feel about touring with all these other artists? So everyone else on the lineup. What's it like touring with all these guys around Australia?
It's pretty amazing. You know, I mean, everyone on the tour has had success, and a lot of it. And, you know, to see all these other talents, to be able to work with them, do shows with them, it's invigorating, inspiring.
Yeah, must be kind of different to doing, because you tour a lot, but in this case you're not doing like a solo show or anything. This is you with all these other people, and it must be cool just to be in this, like in the one place, in the one tour with all these other talented artists.
Well, you know, it's a melting pot of energy and creative minds. In fact, some of the artists on the tour, a couple of us have talked about maybe doing a song together, just because we were all brought together.
Wow.
Yeah,
so wouldn't that be cool? If there are collaborations, it's like little R&B Fridays babies, basically. If there are collaborations that come out of this experience, we can be like, these songs happened. It could be the next hit. It could be the next track that we're playing in 15 years' time, and it could have come out of this tour.
Or it could end up playing, you know, next summer here in Australia. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys play. If we end up doing this record, I'm not going to say which one, but if we end up doing this record, I would not be surprised if you guys don't play it all next summer.
We got a question from someone on Facebook. What do you think the song would be like? What would, if you collaborate? Is there?
Well, the song that we've talked about doing, which I will not say.
Okay.
It's a definitely a summer record, but it's a party record. Yep. It's a feel good, fun record. I mean, look, there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world, and sometimes you just need to be able to go out and have fun and let it go. And so, the record that we were talking about doing would be something like that.
Yeah, cool. And you can't tell us who you might be working with?
Not even a chance.
Oh, damn it. Another question from Facebook. Who is the biggest prankster on the tour? Is there anyone that you're touring with doing these shows?
Prankster.
A prankster? Larrikin?
Well, I wouldn't say anybody is a prankster. So, I mean, I think I was the biggest prankster, because like half the jokes I've been pulling, nobody's been catching. But now they're going to be like, oh, that's the guy that keeps leaving that cup right on the edge and it always falls over and spills.
A classic Dante. Yeah.
But I would say one of the people that I think has a really good sense of humor and he's a really nice guy is Kevin Little. That guy's awesome.
We spoke to him on this couch just 15 minutes ago. I think he's out on stage right now as we speak. And yeah, look at you. You've got a bit of perspiration, a bit of sweat. You've been just delivering it. What was it like being out on the stage? And that was the final show for this R&B Fridays live tour. You've done all the big cities around Australia. What was it like, that last one?
I mean, you know, when you're on stage and you're singing and performing for that many people, it's kind of like an out of body experience. You know, because like, I mean, in the middle of singing and doing my thing, I would look up on stage and I'd be like, "That's a really cool looking guy. Who's that? Oh yeah, that's me. I'm here." You know?
That's right. I'm on a 30-foot
You know?
screen.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
There's 15,000 people here to see me. Yeah, it's crazy.
But the experience is it's a good thing.
And
I can't put words into it. It's a good thing.
It's got to be a bit surreal, a bit
very
amazing.
much so. Very much so.
Yeah. And all off the back of just what was a phenomenal record with Miss California as well.
Yeah, it's almost like it's at 5 million copies sold now.
Huge.
Yeah,
huge.
It's unbelievable.
One
really.
of the biggest songs of all time.
Yeah. It's actually I got interviewed by Rolling Stones, and the first thing the interviewer said was about 6 years ago. The interviewer said, "So how does it feel to have sang a record that's going to outlive you? It's going to play in 100 years in shopping malls and on elevators and." Out of another thing was out of the 1,000 greatest records in the last 100 years, it was like number 600 and something. I mean, how many records are made in a year, much less in the last 100 years? So to be a part of this special thing it's humbling, and it's humbling. That's all I can say.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure you did an amazing job. I've been down here, but I saw you on the screen, and you looked like you killed it. And I've seen you at a couple of these shows before, and it's always amazing to see you live. And you've got a fantastic voice and a brilliant performer. So thank you for dropping by and having a chat. And I hope you really enjoyed Australia. Dante Thomas.
I did. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, everybody out there.